when I took the classes, I think that they were all in person. So we would take classes in downtown Hartford, we would take classes here in stores. I think some of the classes were actually combined with the MBA program, so we took some classes with the MBA students, which was a great way to mix and learn with them as well. But it was a very exciting time. And while I was a student here, I was actually also studying for the CPA exam. There were other students in the program that were working full-time from around the state. And I think that the ability for them to take classes at night in downtown Hartford was very beneficial to them and allowed a lot of flexibility. And I think the other interesting thing too is this being 1999 in the year 2000, the use of online chat forums to actually be able to discuss issues with your professors the night before an exam was rather revolutionary for the time and very helpful. From what I recall at the time, back in the late 90s, a lot of the local and also the national offices of the accounting firms here in Connecticut were saying to educators at University of Fairfield and UConn and Central, where they're getting most of their students from, hey, listen, these students really know their accounting. Thank you very much for doing your part in educating them about that, but they're not so great when it comes to written and oral communication. And maybe they're not as well-rounded in business outside of accounting as we would like them to be as staff one accountants. And this was an idea and a thought that was sort of bantied about for several years. And then there was sort of like a mini economic boom that occurred in the late 90s. Mini now, when you think about, at the time it was pretty big, but now looking back on it, it's not nearly as big as what we're currently going through. And at the time when academia and the State Board of Accountancy had caught up with what the business community's needs were, and that we're going to now require an extra 30 credit hours of additional education, I think 12 of which were going to be for accounting, so going from 24 credit hours to 36 credit hours in accounting only before you sit for the CPA exam. Academia had caught up and said, hey, we got this great new program. And I think UConn was the first one to actually turn that program into a master's, because I think the other schools were only just throwing in another 30 credits, still getting like an undergrad degree. So UConn was like, we're going to actually give you, another designation. You're going to be a Master's of Science in Accounting, which is a great thing. And so UConn was the first one to come out with this. But the weird thing is that when they finally came out with it, when I say finally, I mean as in they were pretty quick in coming out with it, but when they did come out with it, the business community says, no, we don't want to send these kids to school for another year. We need them to work now. We need to, because this is Y2K was happening at the time, and we just needed a lot of bodies to throw onto these projects and these engagements. And so they were unwilling to let these kids go to school for another year because they needed them to work right now. I say kids, but 22-year-old college grads. So UConn was also very quick to then adjust again and said, you know what, it's not going to be an in-person program. We're going to be virtual. And we're going to make it very flexible so that you could work during the day, take classes at night in the comfort of your own home when it works for you. And the professors also were very amenable to that and made themselves very present to the students when they needed them virtually. You're in a classroom with much less students in it, right? So it's almost like it's MBA level. Some of the classes were probably at most 30 or 40 students. Some of them were as little as 10 or 15 students. So you really felt like you got really good one-on-one attention and great time with the professor. Get to build a personal relationship with them. So great opportunities all around. Good community of professors and students, great alumni network, and love to come back and help out some more.